But today on the circuit, where we wear lots of hats, we have the infamous, the legend, Daryl Folks.
All right.
You might find it funny. Huh? He said you got the whole hookup and everything.
Yep.
Daryl and I go way back, and we're going to talk about all the different hats that he wears. We can help you out. So again, Daryl Folks. All right. It's good to have you on the show. It took a minute, but I know as we all have many different hats to wear, and you did mine, so I'll do your show one of these days. I think you told me it come up in May. You say you'd be able to do it, right?
What'd you say?
You said you'd be able to do my show in May.
Yeah.
Yep, and we're at May. So where were you born at, Daryl? Were you born in Pontiac?
Pontiac, Michigan, Pontiac General Hospital.
Okay, raised in Pontiac, and you're a chief, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
It's that same, not argument, but Quincy and I was talking about, because Quincy's a chief also as well. And he said, yeah, it's the best school, and everybody would agree with that. I said, I don't know. We got some northern people from Huskies who probably say something different, but I love the rivalry.
Right.
Yeah. What made you get into music? Cover that first.
My older sister played flute. My older brother drums. So I just followed in right behind them and got into elementary school.
Did your mom or your parents play, or?
Actually, neither one of my parents played instruments, which was funny because everybody in my family, all my brothers and sisters played instruments, but neither one of my parents did.
Mm-hmm. Did you start off with that, what's they call that flute? I forgot the name of it, just mentioned learning your notes?
No, actually, the year that me and Quincy came into music in the 5th grade, we were the first class. They started out straight on the instruments.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't play that black song flute.
The song flute, yeah. Okay. So how were things in high school? You went straight to the drums then, or did you play other instruments?
Well, I played drums, snare drum from 5th grade to high school. And then high school is when I finally got a chance to sit behind my first full set of drums.
Mm-hmm. Let me get this down. Well, I always want to know how people's lives are going. I got a chance to interview some great people, and I think you're a great person as well. I just want to know what took on. You went to photography. You also been a fireman. So we want to touch base on all those things, if it's okay with you. Let's start. So you talked about the music. What do you think about today's music as far as AI is concerned? Is it helpful? Hurts? Crazy?
I think, unfortunately, rap music and all of that has created a generation or a society where nobody wants to play an instrument. Everybody wants to be a rapper or soloist, which is why you don't have a lot of black kids playing music now, because everybody wants to be a rapper.
Mm-hmm. So when did you realize that playing music is more than just a hobby? I'm sure you've gotten paid for it, so it becomes more than you're professional now. Whenever they give you money.
Well, I didn't start really ever getting paid to play until I got into in my late 20s started playing at St. Stephen's Baptist Church. That was the first church I played for.
Okay.
And then from there, whenever I had an opportunity to play for other churches, I just played for them. You know, if I go to a program and they drone didn't show up, I would play for them. Sometimes people would even call me to play in their concerts or whatever.
Yeah, that does happen.
Around 85, 86.
Mm-hmm. So as you were nurturing, getting your musicianship together, what bands or artists shaped you, put you in the kind of mood that you like? You like gospel more? You like, you just mentioned rap or classical pieces? What shapes you? What shaped Daryl Folks?
Well, being in band in high school, I was more into classical, because that's what we played a lot of, especially being a symphonic band, marching band. We played the street music.
Hmm.
Then as I got older, when I started playing with the churches, then it was mostly gospel music that I listened to. Joel Smith of the um, Hawkins family was one of the first gospel drummers I listened to.
Okay.
Jazz drummers, it was Billy Cobham and Earth, Wind and Fire's drummer.
And what was it about them that you liked the most? I know it's their style, but anything particular that moved you?
Well, listening to Joel Smith, that taught me how to get in the pocket and play gospel music and not be the soloist for the band, for the
Mm-hmm.
choir. Listening to Billy Cobham and Earth, Wind and Fire, that taught me a little technique, especially when it came to foot speed and left hand speed.
Okay. How many years you been a musician?
I started in 1968.
Okay. Okay. So being a musician, what surprised you the most? What have you seen that just knocked your socks off? Like, I just don't believe this is happening. I
Uh,
know you could. I know you got a lot of different situations you could probably come up with.
well, back when Earth, Wind and Fire was on tour, they picked their drummer up and had him playing like this above the stage.
Hmm.
And nobody's ever done anything like that before without losing their drummer.
Okay.
And then just listening to other people, you just listen to them and be amazed at some of the things that people do. Like I think Buddy Rich probably had the fastest hands at that time.
Hmm.
Then, like I said, Billy Cobham and them guys had good feet. Tony Williams, Art Blakey, those guys had good feet. Uh, Alvin um, Alvin Jones had good tone. He listened to his music, or he named his symbols by colors. He played his symbols with colors. Whatever color he saw, those were the symbols that he used.
Colors. So
And
you mentioned foot and you meant fast. So when it comes from the snare and a bass drum, are you talking about fast on all the drums and all the cymbals, the whole kit, or just the 1, 2?
well, Billy Cobham probably got one of the fastest feet.
Hmm.
My friend Quincy showed me of him doing a double bass solo, and you'd have thought it was three or four people playing those drums along with him because his feet were so fast.
Hmm.
And then when you talk like Tony Williams and Buddy Rich, you're talking about people that have quick hands and they're able to do things with one hand that most people can't do with both their hands.
Okay. Okay.
Then Elvin Jones, he just, like I said, he played by colors, whatever color he felt. Those were the different types of symbols that he used for that song. Because every
Okay.
symbol doesn't have the same sound.
Okay. Was there ever a moment that when you was on stage or in the studio that changed you or changed your approach to music, or does that constantly always happen? You always see something new and always changing, always getting better, making yourself better.
I was never a studio musician. Closest I came was when me, you, and Chris McDonald were all playing over there at St. Stephen's,
Uh huh.
and there for their for their church choir in their concerts. That's about close I ever came to studio. Even though I did a video with Quincy that everybody liked, but I wasn't actually the one that was playing. Somebody else was playing, but I just did the imitation because the actual drummer, couldn't be there for the video that he made.
But that was interesting. So, so they put the camera on you and they play the drum piece, and you just mimic what the drummer was doing.
He was his the guy that he had doing the video played the soundtrack.
Hmm.
He was doing the words, and I was playing the drums, actual playing the drums. Then I threw in a few flourishes and stuff, and everybody liked it. They said,
Okay.
"Gotta do another one," and that was the last one we ever did together.
Okay. So you also did photography.
Hmm.
When you was doing your playing your music, did you do photography during the same time, or did you switch over and let music go for a minute, or you were able to continue doing both?
I could do both because I was never doing both at the same time. I started my photography in '78, and I used that as something else to do when I wasn't playing or I wasn't working.
Hmm.
And I went from being just an amateur photographer to one now that a lot of people request. because I do decent work for a good price.
So you're doing photography for weddings and events?
I did weddings, birthday parties, family reunion, uh, proms, prom send-offs, school programs. Wherever somebody needed me to take a picture of them,
Hmm.
a few family portraits. So whatever they needed me to do.
Okay. And then, as my good friend, I've known you for some time. You also was a fireman. Were you doing all three? Photography, being a fireman, also being a musician.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
As a firefighter, it afforded me a little bit more time since I didn't work every day. I
Hmm.
worked 10 days a month, had 20 days off, so that's 20 days I could do whatever I need to do. And sometimes I would work on a Sunday, so I couldn't play, but any other time that had free, if somebody needed me to do something, play for them, or even take pictures, I was able to do it. Then I got into the inspection division. Most of my time was after 5 and on the weekends to do everything, take pictures, play drums, whatever. But it gave me my Sundays free to be able to
Hmm.
play drums at churches or for anything.
So, for our listening audience, how did you set up the balance for that? Do you write down a sheet of paper? Do you have a calendar? You have a schedule? You have somebody remind you? You recorded it and have it played back? Or what is your secret to that so someone else can follow your lead, follow your steps?
Well, if I was doing it again, I would probably be have a lot more things written down so they wouldn't so nothing never clashed.
Hmm.
Because I didn't pile things on myself. I knew what had to be done on that day, and I would write it down on a notepad or something as to what had to be, or I put it on my whiteboard or my date board as to where I was supposed to be that day until we got cell phones, and I was able to put it into my cell phone to let me know where I was supposed to be on certain days.
Okay. Yeah. I've done cell phone and notes and stuff and reminders.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
also make whoever I was doing something with send me a reminder a
Hmm.
week ahead so I wouldn't forget it or
Okay.
schedule something else at the same time.
So tell us some things. Give me three things that, as far as musicians are concerned, and also as a fireman and also as a photographer, things that you know that other people, the regular people don't know, that you don't talk about, something that you can put on the air that not embarrass anyone or bring up anybody's name or anything, but situations you were in as far as a musician, situation you were in as far as a fireman, situation you were in as far as a photographer. I think that would make it quite interesting to know how you pull that off. Let's start
Uh,
with a musician. What are some things that you found unusual as a musician or scene? Like maybe a fight, maybe somebody slipping. I'll talk about somebody
I'm
slipping.
as a gospel musician, and really never a lot of stuff never really happened except for a couple of arguments when it came to who was going to direct what song or
Okay,
getting the parts right or whatever like that. And being a drummer, my job was just to sit back and wait for the director to tell me to play.
so you've seen some rough directors.
I've seen some directors that need to be need to sit down, and I've seen some great directors. Uh, my oldest sister was good friends with the Clark's family and
Okay,
with Thomas Whitfield,
okay.
and I was friends with Jimmy Dow, JD of St. James,
Hmm.
and Daryl Houston of St.
Okay,
James Church.
okay. So that's some of the crazy and sort of unusual. How about being a fireman? Tell me an interesting story of being going to either put out a fire or when whatever your daily chores was, your daily job was.
Uh,
'Cause a
we,
lot of us don't know what firemen do other than put out fires, but
well,
what would be interesting?
we've had our share. We've had. I've been on a couple of fires where we fought. One fire we fought for over 6 hours because it was a big building. They were flooding it with water.
Hmm.
My Me and my guy and my captain, we were inside laying in the water. They're sitting in water above us, and it's flowing down to us. So we was inside just laying in water for 6 hours. So by the time we got back to the station, good thing it was a warm day in February, else we'd have been freezing. I had to We had another fire at a place that took us 24 hours to put it out because of the conditions of what was burning. And it took us 24 hours to put it out because we couldn't just throw water on it because there were
Mm.
things like magnesium metal, which you really can't put water on. So it took us a long time to put that out because it was so big.
Okay.
And I also had the unfortunate uh, day to be there when our only firefighter was killed. I was on the scene taking pictures, and I saw the collapse, and I went down and helped get him out.
Mm.
And that was back in '88.
Hmm.
But I was off duty that day, and I was just taking pictures. Me and my father were just down there taking pictures.
Well, I was going to ask also to talk about something unusual or something strange that has happened when in the photography business as well. That sounds pretty atrocious right there, unless you have something a little bit more interesting than that you can tell
No,
our audience.
my photography's been pretty tame to somewhat. I've taken pictures at the hydroplane races, and I caught a double rainbow that was hanging over the city of Pontiac one time that
Okay.
everybody's trying to get that from me so they can use it for posters and whatnot nails, but I never sold it to anybody.
Hmm.
And I've
Okay.
taken winter shots, you
Okay.
know, ice and stuff on the trees. I've taken a lot of winter shots that people tried to get me to buy my picture for that too, but I never sold it.
You don't? Do you sell any of your photographs?
No, I don't sell nothing. I'll
Okay.
give it to somebody before I sell it. And I'm not trying to be like that. The only time I charge somebody is I'm doing a photo shoot, but be
Hmm.
something else, like something like that. You know, I'm not trying to make money like that.
Okay. So, what is your biggest lesson that you've learned when it comes to doing these various different jobs that you've gotten out of this that's made you more mature, more wiser, that you would share with somebody else to be conscious of, to make sure you live your life this way or some kind of way that you've gotten out of these jobs?
The biggest thing with all of them, being from taking pictures to being a photographer, being a firefighter, and being a musician, is just be prepared for what you're about to do.
Hmm.
Don't do things at the last minute because then you'll make a mistake. That's why even when I take weddings, I give the bride and groom a list of things that I take in the order that I take them in, so that we're all on the same level when it comes to shooting a wedding, so nothing gets missed.
Hmm.
Especially things like the hand shots, the first kiss, and all that stuff. When it came to firefighting, just be prepared for the job that you do because, we always say, no two fires are alike. It may start out as a plain house fire and end up being a lot more. And then when it comes to being a musician, just listen to the music, be prepared to play the music, and follow the director because it's not about you. It's about the choir.
Right. I have a question. I had called the ambulance one time in my life. The question I have is that when they sent the ambulance, they also send the police and a fire truck. I was like, why did they send it's not a fire. They sent a fire truck. And they told me we do this on all the calls. Every call that we get, it's a 911. We send a fire truck as well. Is that true or is that the standard? Talk a little bit about that.
Well, sending the police became a standard in the 2000s, but before that, police were never at every call, but now they're at every call.
Hmm.
As far as calling for the ambulance before a certain time period, I don't know when it was, ambulance companies in this city's only job was for transport. They weren't allowed to treat
Yeah.
people. So
Yeah.
that's why I ended up with a fire truck there or a EMS truck from the department because
Mm.
uh, Fleet and all those companies that transport people were not allowed to treat people. Now they are allowed in some circumstances to be able to treat people. So that's why you ended up with three entities on the same call. Police are there for the record, fire's there to do the job, EMS uh, is there to transport.
Why don't they just teach or train the EMS people to do what the firefighters do as far as reviving life, or I'm not sure, being a nurse or something, or a doctor on on the run trying to help somebody?
Well, the
I'm
thing
sure it
is,
costs more.
there are more there are more fire trucks in the city than there are
Oh,
ambulances actually in the city. Because
no, I
ambulances
didn't know that.
could run anywhere. They could be running anywhere between Southfield and Clarkson at any given time, depending on where they're staged at.
Okay.
So, and also they were never contracted to do that job
Hmm.
because that was the fire department's job to run EMS.
Okay. Tell me something interesting about fire departments that people don't know. You kind of told a little bit because I thought that, man, I didn't know that. Something that's I don't want to say it's a secret among firemen because I don't want the secret handshake, but just something that you know that we don't know, or probably that we should know. You wish we. I know a lot of times when we see a fire department, we're supposed to pull over, and I've seen some idiots who don't do that. I'm sure there are more things that we should know about or give respect to the fire department that we probably don't. Give us a little piece of that you know that we should know.
You just talked about pulling over, and you have to realize if that truck's running, that means they're going to help somebody, and that somebody could be your somebody.
Yeah,
So you get out of the way so they can go do the job they need to do.
yeah.
Also, people always should say, "Well, you firemen, y'all don't do nothing. Y'all just sit around the station all day and blah blah blah." And I would tell people, I said, "Tell you what, if I have to go to work, that means somebody in this city is in trouble. Do you want it to be you or one of your family members?
Right.
If we have to sit at the station all day and do nothing, that means there's a day that nobody in Pinex in trouble
Mhm.
from anything from falling off a bike to getting shot, having a heart attack, automobile accident. If we don't have to go take care of somebody for that, that means it's a good day in Pinex. Nobody's in trouble.
Mhm.
We're running all day. That means there's a lot of trouble in the city.
Yeah. How many fire departments are there in Pontiac?
There's 4 fire stations now. It used
Fire
to be
station?
there's 4 now.
4, okay. Given the common trend of things, way the DEI and all kind of things, has that changed, your life when it comes to music, comes to photography? I don't think you're not doing the fire department anymore, but you probably still friends with those guys. Did it change them in any kind of way, in a bad way?
As far as what?
The fire department or photography business or music business?
Yeah, those guys, they went through a big change going from a department that ran a lot and had a lot of experience and being shifted to a department that, let's see, with the year that they switched us, the city that they turned us over to had only had 25 fires or house fires that year before.
Mhm.
City of Pontiac averaged 250 to 300 fires a year.
Yeah.
House fires, not including dumpster fires, field fires, car fires. So that was a big thing there because we're talking about a very experienced department going to work for a non-experienced department.
Okay. Again, what was it that drew you to say, "I'm gonna fight fires, I'm gonna go in burning buildings and save people"? What drew you into that?
But my
You
younger
told me about the musician part, but
one of my younger brothers was on the department before me.
okay.
When the opportunity came for me to get on there, I took the I took the job first for the money, and then once I got in the job, I enjoyed being there to help people one way or another at their one of the worst, sometimes some of the worst moments in their life.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Because
look at a lot of YouTube, especially after tornadoes come by and wipe something out, or fires, or
yeah,
mudslides, and I'm sure when people get home, if they're able to get home and see that, they're devastated. Tell me of the feeling. I mean, what do you do? Do you say, "I'm sorry," or do you give them a hug, or you just walk away, or "Sorry, pal"? What Tell me, how do you help them out when you see they're in distress?
well, we just go in and do our job, and sometimes it may be somebody that we know, it may even be a family member, or especially with somebody we know. We comfort them after we've done all that we can for them.
Mhm.
Times um, we're able to revive that person on the scene. Sometimes they had to go to the hospital. Then after what, if it's somebody I know, I go talk to them, and then you know, to try and ease things for them because the best thing for a lot of people is if they see somebody on the scene that they know, then they're a little bit more comforted in what's going on.
Hmm.
You can help them that way by talking to them and letting them know that things might be all right or they're going to be better than what they are. Then that helps that person. And sometimes down the line, they might reach you and say, "Hey, I want to thank you guys for helping us out. And your presence alone helped make that day easy for me and my family,
Hmm.
knowing that somebody I knew was there to help us."
Hmm. What advice would you give, and for the three entities that we've been talking about, you have a young person in grade school or high school getting ready to graduate, maybe even debating to go to college, another case. What advice would you give them if they want to be a musician, professional musician, or if they want to be a professional fireman, or if they want to get into photography? What advice would you say to them if they were listening to this show and they say, and it would help them in their choices? June is about to come up and they're about to graduate. What advice would you give them? What classes should they take, or what? I'm talking a little too much, but trying to set the plot.
Well, if you want to start with photography, that's something that you probably should start in junior high or high school so that
Okay.
you'll have years of taking pictures ahead of you.
Hmm.
I started until I was 20 years old because we didn't have those kind of classes when I was coming through school, but some of these schools around Pontiac had that as a class.
Hmm.
And then once you get out of that class, you can also go to like um, CCS, the Center for Creative Studies in Detroit, or go to the New York school that they a lot of professional photographers have come out of. And as far as the music, just start as early as you can. If
Hmm.
you can afford to have lessons, take lessons and just practice as much as you can, and mainly listen to whoever your director is or one of your friends, whoever might be a little bit better than you at it, and get some assistance from them. And as far as becoming a firefighter, now you have to go to the academy first, become what they call Firefighter 1, and then now they want you to be a medic, so you have to go to EMT school, which
Okay.
right probably take up probably about 2 years of your life, and then from that point on, just find out who's hiring. Even if you have to go outside your city, you may have to travel 15, 20, 30 miles outside your city because all departments don't hire because fire departments have the tendency to have low turnover, unlike the police department where they're turning over police officers every year.
Hmm. Wow. I was with some friends. We was talking about, they got that over at the Silverdome. They got the Amazon plant, and they told me they have drones whizzing over their houses all the time. I haven't seen them, but I'm going to go over there and see if I can see some take off. I think that would be exciting because
All you
I have
gotta
about
do is
4 or
look up.
5 drones myself.
I see them over my house almost every day.
Do you? Man,
Yeah.
I want to see that. I've seen them on YouTube, but where I'm going with this, what excites you in music in today's uh, music when it comes to the technology? What it gets you excited? So, wow, I love that we're doing this, and also as far as firefighters, are they doing something more exciting? I know a lot of police officers now. I don't know if it's in Detroit, but they're using drones to go follow where the crime scene happens to be at, so they can catch someone. If there's something maybe the firemen are doing, bigger hoses or faster trucks with monster wheels. I don't know. Maybe they're doing something that's exciting. And then, as far as photography, I know you had those real cameras and the Nokias and all the nice cameras, but things are going more digital now, and those cameras, newer ones, also come with the digital access, I guess. So tell me about the firemen, and then photography, and then music. What excites you that you've seen that you're motivated about?
Well, and the city of Warren is using drones for police and for fire assistance. They're using
Okay.
fire assistance to get overhead views and 360-degree views of the building, so they can know what they need to do and where the trouble spots are.
Before you move on, do they hire a person that knows how to fly drones, or how did they get that person? And does that person stay at the station, has certain hours, or do they work from home, or how does that work?
From what I read, they're just like the dispatcher. They have their own unit where that's all they do is work the drones all day.
Hmm.
So basically, they're like the guys in the military. That's all they do is fly the drones all day. Um, as far as photography, 95% of it is now digital since the early 2000s because everybody wants everything quick. But there's a trend now, people going back to film because film gives a truer color than digital without doing all that photoshopping and all the rest of that stuff. And that's another thing. People take pictures, then they go in and Photoshop the picture, and that's not really the true picture. That's the picture that you finish with, but it's not the picture you started with. And I don't like to do a lot of Photoshopping, so I make sure that I take good pictures so that I don't have to do a lot of Photoshopping or anything with my pictures.
Did you develop your own film back in the day, or still do?
I never got into developing. I would have to go to school to learn how to do that.
Okay,
I took the pictures and sent the film in, and had it printed, processed.
okay.
And as far as music,
Well, I mean, quick question: do they still do developing at some place? I know the place
still
you were at, they closed.
back to it. A
They
lot of
go.
back to film.
So you go to the drugstore and they can develop it for you, or
There's a few places around the country that still do film
oh,
processing. I don't know if the drugstores and stuff do it, but I know there's places like there's a few camera stores that are still around here that you can drop your film off and have it processed.
so you got to find the nearest camera store near you to get that done.
Yeah, I
Well,
think I think Woodward Camera down in Birmingham still does their own processing.
because I know they used to sell a Kodak cameras, and I'm not even sure where would you go buy a camera to print on film that does film like that.
You can
Because
buy, you can buy a used older camera.
okay, well, where would you buy the film at? You have to order on Amazon, I guess.
Cameras still sell
Oh,
film.
so you go to the camera shop,
Hmm.
got it, get the camera shop
Uh,
film.
cam-
Okay,
Cameras
okay.
up in Waterford, Woodward Camera down in um, Birmingham, Fitton Camera.
Hmm.
A few cameras, photography stores that still sell the film and the paper and all that stuff too. If you want to do your own, print your own stuff, they still
Okay,
sell the products that you need.
okay.
As far as the music part, eh, I'm 50-50 on some of the stuff that's out there. Really don't need all of that, but that's just me because I'm old fashioned.
Hmm. So you're not impressed by it.
I'm not impressed by it
Hmm.
because that means that you're not doing the work. Something else is
Right,
doing the work
right.
for you.
Okay, all right. So on the music end that you've been working with, when people, I understand they don't do CDs no more. They're just doing, I guess, MP3s, I guess.
Yeah,
If you want music, are you recording some stuff at your home, or do you have a set of drums at home that you work on and see what you sound like?
I have a set of drums in my basement, but I don't do any recording. I never recorded.
Hmm.
Closest I came to recording was watching a recording of a gospel choir, but I don't do no recording myself. I'm
Hmm.
not good.
Okay, okay. Now you are still using your camera, working in the film industry, right?
Oh yeah, I got
Have
some.
you ever thought about doing do you do videos also as well?
I do. I have the equipment to do videos also. So sometimes
Okay.
someone may want me to do a video of their wedding or whatever, or they might want a video of their kids in a program. I can
Hmm.
do that, or the kid playing a sport. I can do
Do they?
video. I can do pictures, whichever they want.
Are you right there when they do the cut the cake and then see if they're gonna smash the cake in each other's face, or
I'm right.
make sure you're right there?
I'm right there wherever they need me for that day or those few hours that they need me. I'm there.
Hmm. I notice a lot of times at the gigs we do, uh, everybody's all dressed up, but the cameraman doesn't ever dress up. They just wear regular jeans and everything. Is that the norm, or do they? do they ever dress up and put on a suit or anything and do take pictures? Or is just the job requires you to sometimes get on your knees and get dirty and I don't know, maybe get under tables. Who knows? Go outside in dirt and take pictures. I'm not sure. Is there a certain style the way that works out?
I mean, it's up to the photographer. It's just like if you go to a party and the DJ's not dressed up.
Hmm.
Sometimes DJ might be dressed up, sometimes he's not. A lot
Okay.
of when you're taking pictures, depending on what time of year it is, doing all that walking around and stuff, you'll get hot.
Oh, okay.
Then you're toast before the wedding is even over with. You got a
Hmm.
80, 90, 100-degree day and you walking around with a three-piece suit on, taking pictures all over the place, you'll be beat before the wedding's over with.
Okay.
And reception, all that's over with. So the easier you are on yourself, because I don't even play drums. I'm performing. I don't even play in a suit. Some guys do. I can't do that. I'll be hot, too hot
Okay.
to. Yeah.
I understand. So tell us about some of the famous people you met in your life. You've met some about three people that are well-known people that you've met. I know you said your sister was close to quite a few of them. I'm sure you had to met them. So tell us people that you thought highly of.
Um, Actually, I got to meet Billy Cobham,
Okay. Where
uh,
at?
Meadowbrook.
Okay.
My friend Quincy was opening for them. It was Billy Cobham, Larry Carlton, Stanley Clark, and I want to say it was Bob James was there, but he was hot. He was opening for them, so I got to go backstage with him, and I
Hmm.
got Larry Carlton and Billy Cobham autograph. Uh, my uncle that used to be married to one of my aunts on my mother's side, he was the lead singer of the Undisputed Truth,
Okay. All
the,
right.
the group that made Smiling Faces.
Yeah.
So, and then
Okay.
like I said, I met Thomas Whitfield, hung out with the people at St. James in Detroit. Uh,
Hmm.
s- um,
I had a
uh,
chance to play with him one time when he came. I think it was the St. James in Pontiac on Pike Street or something like that. He came to Pontiac. Or was that Auburn? But he had a bass player. I let me set in. That's cool. I said, man, I had a chance to play with him. That was great. Loved it.
I
So
got to meet Billy Blue Band and his band when they were
okay.
in Lot 9 for one of the concerts. Actually, going to being on the department when I was an inspector, I actually got to meet LL Cool J
Wow.
and Isaac Hayes.
Man, I know you love that.
Yeah,
Great moments.
I got a LL Cool J's autograph from my daughter. I took pictures with Isaac Hayes for myself and some friends. I got to meet Sierra and Rihanna when they were just starting off because they were
Hmm.
at a festival downtown. So I got to meet them too. And a lot of people that performed on top of the Phoenix Center when I was an inspector, because that was my job was to oversee that place and make sure that it stayed safe during the
Hmm.
event.
Hmm.
So if you think of all the people that come down to the Phoenix Center before they closed it, I got to meet most of them.
Wow. And they tore the Phoenix Center down, and then they're going to build another parking deck. What? You tear up a nice parking deck unless there was something wrong with it. Was something wrong with that parking deck?
Well, problem was when the emergency manager came in and closed it,
Hmm.
people that like to have to peel for copper and stuff like that went through there and destroyed it.
I see. I
So that,
see. Oh, so there's always a reason.
yeah, it was just, and it got to the point where it would have cost them a lot. And since they were just trying to shut down the city anyway, they just let
Mhm.
it waste.
Well, I know a lot of the people who watching this are from Pontiac. They would love to hear that. What happened to that? What about that bridge that connects South Boulevard and Woodward? What
Well,
happened to that?
you can thank the ex-mayor for that not being done on time. They had the money. He just was holding on to it for whatever reason before they finally decided to start fixing it late last year.
Okay.
It, it should be done by September.
All right. Well, that's good intel. That's good
No,
intel.
by September at the latest.
Hmm. Okay. Well, I always end with this question I ask everybody, whether it be inventors or musicians. This is a show called The Circuit, or people who wear many different hats. You don't have to wear hats to be on the show, but I always ask this questions: dead or alive, musicians that you admire, that you would love to be on the stage performing with. And I always mention to them, you don't have to mention my name because I'm not talking me. I'm talking about other musicians. Sometimes there's a courtesy, and indeed, I like to be on stage. Yeah, sure you would.
Right, absolutely.
I'm just like this. But anyway, yeah, it could be one person, maybe 10 people that you like, on somebody on keyboards, this person on keyboards, this person on congas, another person on sax, somebody else on guitar, somebody else on bass. And what stage you would like to be on, and who would these people be on? Will be on your show with you performing.
You can take most of the old old gospel stars,
Okay.
um, James Cleveland, C.H. Nicks, Thomas Whitfield,
Hmm.
Rance Allen, Walter Hawkins, Edward Hawkins, Daryl Coley, um, Donald Bell. Take any of those guys from the '80s and early '90s
Hmm.
on now. They would be great to be around. As
Okay.
far as jazz goes, my my one of my heroes, the late great Roy Ayers,
Hmm. Yeah.
I got to see when I was in college for free. Um, I got to see George Benson a couple of years ago down at the Trenton Jazz Festival.
Yeah. I played there.
Billy Cobham.
Hmm.
Uh, who else? Like I said, Tony Williams. Those guys. Um, I would say a lot of the guys, groups, R&B groups from the '70s.
Hmm.
Most that was our age, and that was the music that we listened to. That we still love to this day.
Yeah.
You take your pick of any of them,
You're right.
from Al
Everlasting.
down to Maurice White of the Earth, Wind and Fire. All the Temptations, Four Tops,
Hmm.
all guys.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be a huge stage. Get all
Right.
them guys on stage at the same time, and
If I,
you be in the center.
or I'd go Stanley Clark on bass,
Hmm.
Joe Sample on keyboard, uh, probably Stix Hooper on drums, Wilton
Hmm.
Felt, and Miles Davis, Coltrane, and yeah, that'd be it. That'd be a good group right there.
What drum set would you use? What brand?
Pearl,
Pearl, and what
Pearl,
kind of
always
cymbals?
Zildjian,
Zildjian cymbals,
Zildjian
and,
or paper.
and what kind of sticks? Brand sticks.
Um,
I should get paid for those. I'm telling you, promoting them.
shoot, name of my sticks. I can't even think. I just play. Just anybody that's got good sticks.
Hmm.
Uh,
Well, Daryl, I appreciate this, man. It means a lot. It means
yeah.
I did the heart thing. I really appreciate this more than you ever know. I would definitely be getting back with you because we got to do this again sometime. We got
So,
Daryl Folks, star, infamous, and you still got other jobs. I didn't even talk about you just being a part of the funeral home. You
right.
doing that thing? You still doing that?
Yeah, I still do that.
Okay, all right. Well, again, I appreciate you being on my show. Any questions you have for me? I always give people opportunity. Daryl, you have any questions for me?
We can discuss all the fun that me and you and Chris used to have together. Since my boy came to town and tell me he was here,
He didn't say nothing, did he?
and you say nothing.
I- I'm about to jump on him. I'll tell him. I'll tell him to give you a call. All right, Daryl. Thanks so much. Peace. Daryl, folks.